Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ernesto from Attaboycowboy, and today I want to talk about the three-tiered legal system that's developing in the United States. Now first there's the first tier, the one that I live under and most people that are citizens of the U.S. live under. Where there's consequences, there's fines, you get in trouble, you go to jail, stuff like that, you get sued, none of the fun stuff. Then there's the second tier where a lot of homeless people live under, which I've been experiencing a lot of in LA because I live in downtown LA, there's a lot of homeless. And I'll explain to you, recently I was standing in front of a building at 3 a.m. and I was waiting for a tow truck to come tow a tenant's car. And I saw this guy wandering up and down the street wearing a hood. And I was kind of like, okay, what's this guy doing at 3 in the morning walking around looking like that? But anyway, after a little while, I saw the lights flickering in front of my building and I looked over at him and I saw him cutting the wires. So I walked over him and stopped him. I said, what are you doing? And he got upset. He jumped up real angry and he tried to cut me with the bolt cutters. So I called 911. I told him, there's a guy here, he just tried to cut me with the bolt cutters. Okay, we'll send someone out. So I stood by his bike and the guy was just trying to threaten me, trying to intimidate me. Then he tried to manipulate me and then he tried to plead. And I wasn't doing anything to him, but he was paranoid. It looked like he was on drugs. And he started telling me, look man, I'm really hungry. I need these wires because I need to eat. I go, why don't you go to a food line? They give you free food or get some food stamps. I go, if you want, I'll give you a sandwich because you're doing thousands of dollars of damage and you don't even get for 50 cents for these copper wires. To him, it's not really worth it. He says, yeah, but I need to make a living. And it's like, whatever. I just listened to him. Cops came. They listened to my story. They asked him. They checked him. He had a bolt cutter. He had a bunch of wires in his bag he'd been cutting. And then they just kind of waited there. They wouldn't do anything. But I was waiting for a tow truck. They didn't realize that. And after a while, they seemed upset. And they said, okay, sir, you can leave now. What do you want, basically? I said, well, I want you guys to take this guy to jail. I want to see some justice here. And they started arguing with me. They're all, well, stealing wires is just a misdemeanor. It's not a big deal. I go, well, it's not just about cutting wires. This guy tried to cut me. That's dangerous. That's not cool. It's a deadly weapon. They started arguing. They started telling me that I was trying to put charges on him. That's what they called it, putting charges. I said, I'm not. They were arguing. They made me explain the story 3 times. They said I was making it up because I was angry about what he's doing and I wanted him to suffer consequences, which is true. I wanted him to suffer consequences, but no, I did not make it up. It's true. So then they just waited, never gave me a police report or a business card or whatever, or did anything. I saw him drive away. Finally, I said, okay. They stopped around the corner. They opened the door and the guy got out and walked away. Next day, I called the police station to follow up. Nothing. No record of anything. I gave him the address, everything, nothing. So basically, if you're homeless, I talked to a friend who's a cop. He said they don't want to mess with homeless people because a lot of times they're smelly, dirty. They dirty up the cop car. And a lot of times they just want to go to jail to get food or get a bed. That costs taxpayers a lot of money. So most of the time they said it's just not worth it. It's better just to let them go and let them do whatever the heck they're doing on the street. So that's what happens with them. Then there's the new arrivals, or people that come in illegally. So I have some workers I was talking to and they were telling me that they were gonna get a car. And I said, well, weren't you worried about getting insurance or a license or anything like that? Because as far as I know, they take your car away if you don't have a license or insurance. They said, oh no, I don't have to worry about that. My friends, and I talked to some of the friends, and oh, we've been driving for years. I go, what do you do when the cops stop you? They said nothing. I just tell them, yo no hablo inglés. Yo no hablo inglés. And I go, what do the cops say? They say, go, go, go. They don't speak Spanish. I said, okay. What if they're Hispanic? He goes, same thing. They just tell me to go. I go, they don't do nothing? He says, no. And I asked my police officer, and he said, dude, you get illegals in jail, they don't have any records. They don't have IDs. They don't have socials. It's like they don't list, like they're invisible. And you waste a bunch of time with them, and there's no recourse. Nothing's going to happen because they don't have any papers. So he goes, it's just a waste of time and taxpayer resources. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. So that's why they don't really want to deal with homeless people or illegals. They just kind of let them go unless they do something really serious, like a violent crime or something like that. So it's unfortunate, but it's reality. So it's good to know about it because if you're a landlord or a business owner or something like that, you're going to get in trouble if you do something. Nothing in particular, but people that are new arrivals or homeless, they're not going to have consequences. So you need to think about that when you measure your responses in terms of how you react to certain situations, because the circumstances could be much rougher for you than it would be for them. So thank you for watching, and from the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., this is Dr. Ernesto, and this is the Supreme Court behind me, in case you're wondering. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.